Hi guys, and welcome to the Sunderland vs Roma match review. So Sunderland have just picked up their first defeat of pre-season at the hands of Jose Mourinho's Roma by 2-0. So we're going to get straight into it, but firstly I do want to just apologise in case you do start hearing something banging and some noises, because I have some tradesmen in at the minute. I have some builders in the house, so if you start hearing drilling or banging, then I don't have anyone hostage. There's just a window that needs putting in next door. So yeah, anyway, getting straight into the game. So the lineup started off with Pato in goal. We had Serkin at left back. We had Gooch at right back, who was also our captain. In the centre of defence, we had Danny Bart alongside Winchester. Then we had O'Nien and Matete in the middle, with Embleton as a sort of number 10, with Diamond on the right, Clark on the left, and Dietrich up top. And straight away with that lineup, I immediately think we are so unbelievably light up top, because of course Ross Stewart, we're going to be handling his minutes. Of course he had international duty after the season, or at least the league season finished, the campaign finished. So when he's trying to sort of juggle his minutes a little bit, maybe give him a rest. I think he may have even picked up a little bit of a niggle, which of course you need to try and keep your eye on as well over the course of pre-season, because everyone picks up niggles and little bits and pieces here and there. So that was the lineup, and Roma had, of course, a very mixed bag of players. Some decent players on the pitch to start off with, of course, because they are Roma. They're a lot better than us. They're of a massively higher standard. But we also had a mixed bag as well. But like I say, we're so light up top. Diaku, even though his natural position is as a winger on the left or the right or wherever, he doesn't even get into our side generally on a match day, even as in his natural position as a winger. So it shows how desperate we are when he's playing as our sort of second striker or our second string striker, and I still don't rate him at all. And I know I keep on trying to give him chance after chance after chance, but even today against, no, of course, a half decent Roma side, but he was just absolutely appalling. But we will get into that. But getting into the game anyway, so the opening sort of half an hour, or well, say sort of 15 minutes, shall we say, I feel like we matched them. I think our sort of press was absolutely fantastic, and if you had a look at our line as well, it was so high, and they were struggling to get out of their half a little bit, to an extent. And what I noticed in the system as well, which was something, it's quite strange, but I did like it. It was sort of risky, but I liked it. Even though O'Nien was supposed to be in the centre alongside Matete, he was almost given this sort of free roaming role there. So even every time basically the ball was in that Roma half, O'Nien would leave Matete would sit, then he'd go out, and there'd be this press with Clark, Embleton, and then O'Nien, and then Diamond, who would join them along with Diaku as well. So there'd be 5 players just pressing them, and it'd make it a nightmare for him. And it was just constant, do you know what I mean? And even when they were coming a bit further up the pitch, O'Nien would still linger forward as well. Sometimes Embo would drop back into that centre role. So it was good to see that there was a lot of sort of cohesion, and it was quite flexible as well. But yes, the opening 15 minutes, not really any chances made. The one frustration I noticed, as I say, with Diaku, we're working the ball neatly a few times, a few decent passing moves, and then you get down on the right hand side and look up, and there's no one in the box. For some reason, Diaku is sat miles outside of it, or he's coming deep for it, believing no one in the box. You've already got players like Embleton coming deep for it, so you don't need another player. Do you know what I mean? If he wants to go deep, he'll give it to Embleton, maybe a give and go before putting it in the box. But we couldn't, because Diaku's positional awareness up top was utter garbage, which isn't his fault. But he's not a striker, but apparently he's supposed to be. That's supposed to be sort of second position as striker, but no, it was shocking. We'll get on the opposite side as well. Clark might get on the left, or Serkin on the overlap, they'd look up, and there's no one there in the box. You've just got Diaku sort of wandering around. He was like a headless chicken at times. So yeah, we're breaking forward, a couple of crosses in the box that the keeper held, but we weren't making any chances. In fact, I don't think we did actually have a shot in the first half at all. So that just speaks volumes. Although we did, we competed. We didn't test the keeper whatsoever, apart from a couple of crosses here and there. We play the ball around the edge of the box, and then there's nothing happening at all. But I think that just comes with the fact that we just didn't have a proper striker on the pitch. But yeah, so no real chances in the sort of opening half an hour, should I say. The one vulnerability I did see that we had, and that's when Roma started to kind of click, is it was balls over the top. The pace between Winchester and Bart was, obviously there isn't any pace there at all, but because we're playing this high line as well, fortunately for us, they didn't have too many quick plays or quick strikers anywhere on the pitch, pressing Bart and Winchester, so we kind of got away with it at times. But in the first half, every time they just played that ball in behind, that curved ball in behind, they had so much space, and Gooch defensively as well on his right hand side. He kept tucking in a bit too much, which would leave so much space on the left, which in the second half proved to be a bit of a pain. But he just kept on tucking in a bit too much, or he'd gravitate towards the play rather than sticking with his man out wide. So there was a few times where they would just put that ball in behind and they would nearly make a sort of half chance. But as I say, no real clear-cut chances for the opening half an hour until the 33rd minute. I've put my notes here, been all professional, got my notes. 33rd minute, a ball, it was a free kick that was whipped towards the back post, then completely free at the back post was Chris Smalling, of course, formerly of Manchester United and much other sides in the Premier League. So the ball was whipped in towards the back post. There's Chris Smalling. He's kind of met it on the sort of half volley on the bouncing ball, met it on the bounce, and he struck it against the near post. It's bounced out of play, fortunately for us. Now, the final sort of 10 minutes of that first half were just pure drama, and I was loving it. And it was all because of that man, Luke O'Nien. So, 35 minutes in, O'Nien gets booked for a 50-50. I think first glance it looks a lot worse than what it actually is. It is a 50-50, and it's El Shaarawy. He's trying to do the sort of almost like a McGeady spin, sort of like a pirouette on the ball. So it looks worse than what it is because he kind of comes in from behind. He tries to swing at the ball with his right foot, kind of clatters it a little bit, but almost kind of misses it, then follows through with his left. Doesn't necessarily hit the player, but he just kind of follows through. So it looks a lot worse than what it was. But maybe I can slightly understand because of the way it looked. The referee gave a booking. So he gave a booking to O'Nien, but the thing that annoyed me the most and others was literally a few moments before, on the opposite side of the pitch, Clark give away a free kick. Okay, they're right back. He's tried to clear away the ball, and Clark's left a foot in. Nothing too bad, but he's rolling around like he's been shot. But the referee's gone over to see if he's okay, rolling around like he's been shot, directly in front of the referee. This defender has lashed out at Clark, physically lashed out at Clark, and the referee did nothing, absolutely nothing. And you've got Luke O'Nien who gets booked for a 50-50. So I thought, come on, mate, you need to, keep the balance of play a little bit. I just thought that was a bit daft, that. But only literally 5 minutes later, O'Nien again, he goes up for a header, completely fit. He goes for the header, but he has gone up with his elbows like that. But there's a lad who arrives late, and I think it is innocent enough. Luke O'Nien didn't know there was a man coming behind him. I thoroughly believe that. But as he's gone up like that, he's obviously elbowed him right in the face. The lad's gone down. Again, he has been hit relatively hard, but he's rolling around like he's been sniped. He's been no-scoped. But then he's got blood all over his face, this guy. So, yes, he has had a bit of a frigging connection with Luke O'Nien's elbow. Before you know it, everyone's running around over Luke O'Nien. Jose and his staff are all over the pitch screaming at Luke O'Nien. And I'm thinking, Luke O'Nien's got frigging Roma on strings, and I'm loving every second of it. But yeah, so that was the kind of the ending of the half. Although Jose was demanding that O'Nien gets sent off, but I think it was purely accidental. But it was getting really tasty towards the back end of that first half. And I like to see that. Yeah, it's a friendly, but you want to see that competitive edge. But just as the half-time whistle was about to be blown, O'Nien was brought off and replaced with Dan Neil. But that was the first half, and I like to see that we were competitive. Yes, they had a couple of chances and we made nothing, but I think it makes it sound worse than we actually were, because some of the play was nice, good battles in the pitch, with physicality, we were matching them, the press, we were matching them, and but we just weren't making anything. There was no creativity there, and I think if you had someone like Ross Stewart who comes deep when he needs to, but then also gets him behind when he needs to, we had nothing to aim for. And every time Dhannoo did get the ball, he was losing it immediately. It was just that word, predictable. It wasn't even that. It was just shocking. If he did come deep, sometimes he would come deep for it and pick up the ball. And it's like, okay, quick, pass it on, so you can get the move going. Easy, pass the move. Simple. It's what you get taught as a kid. But you're just holding to it for too long. People are screaming for the ball. Just tap it. It's so simple. Then he'd try and do like a back heel that even if it didn't hit the defender or get blocked by the defender, it wouldn't have gone to anyone anyway. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know what he's trying to do. Some of the stuff, it's just baffling that lad attempts to do. But anyway, so all it did is either he couldn't control the ball, he was losing it persistently, and his movement off the ball was utterly garbage. So that was Dhannoo's first half for me. But second half, that's when Roma started to bring the changes. A bit more familiar name stock coming on. Some very, very decent plays, including Zaniolo. Zaniolo is a player that I'm a big fan of anyway. I don't know whether you know. I'm a big fan of Zaniolo. I think he's a very, very good up-and-coming young player. So, literally straight away, second half, their class starts to show. They got to outshine us a little bit. They're a lot quicker in the ball, getting right in our faces. I feel like they were a little bit more hesitant and reserved in the first, but they were just going at it, all guns blazing. They were making chance after chance. In the 47th minute, they break down the left-hand side. Zaniolo is free. He hits it hard and low from left to right. and Pato tips it away. Really, really decent save. But it was that left hand side. You know, Gooch gets a bit sucked in with the play, gets drawn in a bit too much. Zaniolo, you know, Zaniolo was sort of free on the left hand side. But you've got Pato, freaking hell. You've got Winchester and Bart in the middle, who they kind of get tangled with each other at times. And Winchester isn't a natural centre back, but when you've got the quality of, you know, the players that Roma have running at you, they're almost in the knots at times. You know what I mean? But then, for literally like a few minutes later, it's just a flurry of chances, sort of the shooting from distance. They're really going at the testing Pato, and we look a little bit shell shocked at the time. 50 minutes in though. This is the most frustrating part of the game and our only chance of the game. 50 minutes, our only sort of shot of the game. We nicked the ball off the defender, does Diaku. Does really well there, reads the play, nicks it off him, intercepts. He's one-on-one with the keeper. He does have a Roma defender kind of just behind him or alongside, which would kind of put him off. But to the left-hand side, he's one-on-one with the keeper. To his left-hand side, very, very visibly in his peripheral, is Clark, who has a completely open net. But the greedy bastard that Diaku is, and he thinks he's frigging CR7 when he's just not. He's one-on-one with the keeper to pass it over to Clark, tap in, and then it could have been a different game. But he said he's trying to go by himself. Of course he has. Typical Diaku. He's hit it straight at the goalkeeper. Our one and only chance of the game. So frigging frustrating. Granted, it's only a friendly. But that, you know, just get yourself a goal. Get Clark a goal under his belt. You know, give us something to set on. But no. So that was Diaku's chance, and dear me, I wasn't happy. It's only a friendly, and I'm fucking furious. But either way, again, it just kept on going. It's several chances for Roma from distance. They're moving the ball really, really well. We just look a little bit shoddy all over the back at this point. I think, like I say, they're just starting to show their quality a little bit. But anyway, so Clark on the 55th minute, we do make a sort of half chance there. Clark, it really did just remind me of the Sheff Wednesday game against, the Sheff Wednesday game in the playoff semi-final. He's driving it there right back. He takes it on, takes it to the byline, but instead of hitting it hard and low like he did in that Sheff Wednesday playoff semi-final game, he's dinked it across goal with his left foot. So he's using his left foot, which I like to see, because last season he wasn't a fan of his left foot until the semi-final against Sheff Wednesday. But he dinked it across goal, really dangerous ball, but it just somehow evades every single Sunderland player, and there was quite a few bodies coming in, so sadly that came to nothing. 60 minutes, we had Sonner and Taylor coming on, Embleton and Sirkin come off. 70 minutes, Zaniolo drives forward, he plays it to the striker on the left-hand side. It was one of the strikers that did come on, who was also a goal scorer later in the game, but he's pretty much one-on-one with the keeper, gaping space all over the place on the left-hand side, and he's tried to bury it in the bottom right-hand corner, and it's gone just wide. But then we do get the goal just a few minutes later, very similar sort of position, but it is 1-0 to Roma. I think it's the centre midfielder. He's driving forward, and it's a little bit unfortunate really, because he's just sort of wrestling his way forward. He's tried to play it through to the left-hand side to Afina Gian. I think just on his back it is Afina, but I'm pretty sure his full name is Afina Gian. He's tried to play it to Gian, or Afina, but it just kind of bounced off the defender. It could have been Bart, or maybe even Gooch, can't remember. But it bounces back off the defender and then back straight into the path of the midfielder, who at this point is very fortunate that he's got to this position, but he just plays it across to Afina, who slides it past Pato. But then 76 minutes, Roberts and Pritchard come on, and Diaku and Diamond come off. Then just a few minutes later, it's 2-0. They break down the left-hand side yet again, and they just square it across goal, and there is Zaniolo to strike it home. Now, from there, to be fair, with the introduction of, you know, you had Sonner, you had Pritchard as well, and Roberts. We had a couple of half chances breaking down the left and the right-hand side, and we cut inside, and just shots were being blocked sort of thing, or crosses were just evading players. But that was pretty much it, and I think with about 5 minutes to go, both sides, they just wanted the full-time whistle because they looked exhausted, of course, with that heat in Portugal. But that was pretty much the game. So for me, I feel like the way we approached it, I really liked it. And I think against championship opposition, and of course with the heat, it wouldn't be the weather, you know, in England that it is the same in Portugal. I think we'd be able to compete a lot better and probably do a bit more. But for me, it just shows and screams the reinforcements that we do need. Of course, we need more striking options. Defensively, we still need bodies. For me, massively. We can't keep on going and scraping season by season. You know, without a natural right back or throwing centre midfielders in at centre back. We can't do that. We really need to stack up. And up top as well, we just look so unbelievably toothless. There's only so far you can go when you've got Diaku up top by himself. Do you know what I mean? They can't. And I know it sounds like I've been harsh on the lad, but it just, for me, I don't know what it is. He just looks like one of those lads who just, he really wants to be something he's not, and I just want him to believe himself and just try to play to his own strengths, and he's trying to do something he can't do. Does that make sense? It sounds like I'm being harsh, but that's just kind of aura I get off him. But at the end of the day, 2-0, and I've said before, it's only pre-season. I'm not going to cry about a 2-0 loss against Roma, of all teams. Very, very good team, led by one of the best managers of all time, in the modern era, in Jose Mourinho. I'm not going to sit here and complain too much about that because it's got the good fitness under the belts. And we did compete for large parts, and just in the end, their strength and their quality shown at the end of the day. And that was pretty much the end of the story. So I'm pleased with what I saw in general, but it just highlights that we do need some more reinforcements. So anyway, guys, did you enjoy the game? What did you think of it? If you did watch it, let me know in the comments down below. And do you think we need reinforcements and where? But if you have enjoyed this video, please hit the like button for me. It'd be massively, massively appreciated. And subscribe to the channel if you're not already to become a fully fledged member of the Sarny Army. But for now, you take care. Stay jamming.